Peace, everyone. So, we got a lesson after a long wait, and today we're going to learn the Nguzo Saba of Kwanzaa, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa in EboN'Ko and Mandombe. So, here's the plan. For today's video, we're going to learn we're going to learn literally Nguzo Saba and Kwanzaa in EboN'Ko and Mandombe, and then we'll have subsequent videos going over in order: Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujamaa, Nia, Kuumba, and lastly Imani. And all of these will be done in EboN'Ko and Mandombe, and specifically in Insa Kwameso Mandombe. So let's get right into it with Nguzo Saba. So as you remember, in EboN'Ko is written from right to left, right? And so I'm going to show you the direct correspondence, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to put it in proper order. So first character is n, right? Not in or na. It's not Nguzo, it's Nguzo. So we have the character specifically for n, for the nasalization, followed by g, which is this triangle with a dot above it, and the dot transforms it from gba, or GB, to ga, right? In our case, when we combine this with the vowel u, then we get gu. This character here is normally ja, but when we put the dot above it, then it becomes za. And then we have lastly the vowel for o. So when we put this in this right to left orientation, then we get Nguzo, right? And so when we put it all together, because there's no vowel here, we put an apostrophe in between characters where there isn't a vowel, or in between two vowels that don't sort of have a consonant separating them. So this looks like Nguzo. 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 Now you guys may be thinking that I'm going fast, but you can always pause this video and revisit it on your own to teach you Nguzo Saba and Kwanzaa in 2 different scripts. This is going to be a long video, so I'm moving right along. I'm moving at a very fast pace. All right, so Nguzo now in Mandombe. Mandombe is written from left to right, just like how the Latin script is. So now we're getting into a little bit of complexity. So the nasalization is here again, but in Mandombe, the nasalization becomes a part of the sort of effective consonant. And I'm really not using linguistic terms on purpose, because I'm not a linguist. So when I say the effective consonant here is gu, right? And then gu. Well, I'm making a diphthong, but linguistics. The effective consonant here is ga, so this becomes nga. So the nasalization is this character with the on the ga. This is the character for u, the character for za, and the character for o. Now, as you remember, since you've been following my videos for a long time, then you know that Mandombe, the consonant vowel becomes one large character. And so then we have the ngu and u combined to make ngu. And then we have the I don't know why that was there. Oh, this is because I was showing it off. And then we have the za and o combined to make zo. And then we have Nguzo. So let's write it out and you'll suddenly understand it. Ngu. Oh, gotta space it out. Let me space this out a little bit better. Ngu. Zo. Ngu. Zo. Oops. Got a little bit distracted there. Ngu. Zo. Lastly, Ngu. Zo. All right, let's move on. Saba, EboN'Ko. Saba, okay. Sa, ba, However, this is written from right to left. So we have sa, ba, But don't think about it like this. Well, you can think about it like this here. For N'Ko or for Mandombe, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we combine it all together. This is very simple. You should be able to get this no problem. Saba. Let's write it out. Sa. Ba. Sa. Oh, hold on. Sa. Ba. Sa. Ba. Sa. Ba. Perfect. All together. N'Ko. Nguzo Saba. Ngu. Zo. Sa. Ba. Beautiful. It wasn't actually beautiful. Let me slow down. Nguzo Saba. 7 principles. All right. Saba in Mandombe. Right? And in Mandombe, we're going from left to right. Left to right. So we have sa, ba, And when we combine these, we get sa or sa, ba. Again. Oops. Sa. Ba. Sa. Ba. All right, you're right on track. All together, Nguzo Saba. I think, oh, no. Ngu. Zo. Sa. Ba. We'll do it one more time since we have the space. Ngu. Zo. Sa. Ba. Beautiful. Kwanzaa. This is where it gets really complicated. All right. So in Kwanzaa, and just speaking about N'Ko at this moment, we have a very interesting situation that we've seen before, especially if you've seen previous videos, and I know you have because you haven't forgotten to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate that. Let me just sidebar here, and I say that I'm doing this because I have been getting a lot of comments, and they have been really heartwarming, especially seeing people on the continent, people throughout the diaspora, commenting on the videos, and being a and it is a point of pride for me to become a somebody that is entrusted to help those of us that are spread out throughout the world, all look back towards Africa, towards Mother Africa, and I'm glad that I can help you do so. So let's get into Kwanzaa. First fruits. So first in N'Ko, we'll do ka, wa, ah. And I just taught you before with Nguzo, the nasalization here, but with this character, But in N'Ko, it gets a little bit more complicated because the way that Manko, the way that N'Ko is written is usually written consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, right? And so when there is nasalization, because N'Ko was written to be a sort of translation of multiple dialects all at once within these different it was called Kangbe, or clear language. And so when we're looking at Kwanzaa in particular, this N is found underneath this A as opposed to a part of this Z. And what does that mean? I'll explain in a second, but it involves this dot here being placed underneath that A. And you'll see what rather, and you'll see what I'm saying. Just like in Nguzo, then we have the ja that is with the dot that becomes za, and these a's combine, these ahs combine with this accent mark that is a rising high tone to make Kwanzaa, right? So what does that look like? This is written out like, like K W A N Z A A, right? This may help you think about it a little bit more. I'm going to erase this. You can, of course, pause it, but we're going to write it out. So we have K. Oh, let me not get that complicated. One. Za. So here, Kwanzaa is more said like Kwanzaa as opposed to Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. I'm going to do this 4 times. Forgot the apostrophe. Kwanzaa. 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 I'm really doing this out of order, but that's because I taught myself. So, error propagation and all that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Kwanzaa and Mandombe. So, like I said before, this is getting really complex. You're really challenging yourself here by sticking with me, especially with these nearing 15 minutes that we've been on here. And so, just like how Kwanzaa was a little bit complicated in N'Ko, it somehow gets complicated even more, or maybe for a different reason. Both of those can be true in Mandombe. Now, so I'll just explain it when we get there. So if we were doing this directly letter for letter, which of course we're not, but if we were, then we would have it like this. Let me erase this, all of these, right? So this is ka, wa, Ah. This is the nasalization. N, z, ah, ah. Right? Now, here's where it gets complicated. This here wasn't complicated. In Mandombe, because especially Bantu languages, I've heard it both ways. How W's are treated, and certain vowel combinations are treated, and as we learn more words, you'll start to see it. But this W isn't necessarily a W, but a U with an A on it. Now, what does that mean? It looks like this. So we have K plus U plus A making one sort of big character. So we're going to, instead of Kuwa, which would give you two consonants, right? Bantu is consonant vowel, consonant vowel. So we're doing consonant vowel cluster instead of consonant cluster with a vowel. So when we cluster these vowels together, then you take a certain part of the vowel, and for ah, it's this. And we'll see this later with Kuumba. Maybe you saw my video last year that I did on Kuumba. But we're going to take this part of the ah, and we're going to put that underneath the U. And so then we'll have kua. And once you say that fast enough, kua becomes kwa. Right? And so we get kua. And so this kind of looks like this. Kua. Right? So that's kwa. And then for nza, the nasalization, of course, is on the Z or the Z. And because we have two A's here, then we're going to do the same thing where we're taking this piece here and putting it underneath the A once again to really hit it that it's a long A. Kwanzaa. Right? So let's write it out and it'll make sense. Kwanzaa. Kua. All right, let me move this down. Kua. Nza. Kwanzaa. Kua. Nza. Kua. Nza. Kua. Oops. Nza. Nza. Okay, all together now for N'Ko. Nguzo Saba, right? Now this is our practice together. And Nguzo Saba. Perfect. Kwanzaa. Yeah, we'll just do it directly underneath. And we'll do it twice because we have the space allotted to us, afforded to us. Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. All right. Now, all together now, Mandombe. Nguzo Saba. Nguzo Sa. Ba. Kwanzaa. Oh, we have a little bit of space for this. But it's good because Kwanzaa is only 2 characters. Kua. Za. Kua. Za. All right. So we're at the end. Asante Sana. 20 minutes. 20, a little bit more than 20 minutes because I'm going to teach you one more thing. Asante Sana. Asante Sana. Asante, right? The dot to separate it. Yeah, I put the dots there. Okay. Asante. Sana. I forget what this is called, but when these characters come together, like how they have when the Pakantuguna Pelikete come together like that, it's a really powerful sort of expression. And so when you do find words like that that come together like that, you really want to pay attention to what they are. And it's quite fitting that they come together on Asante Sana, Madasepa, Modupeo, and of course this is written in the Oduduwa Aiba Jiogbe. Thanks for watching.